In this video, I'll go through some methods for summarizing data numerically and graphically. So let's suppose we've got this small data set here of just 6 observations: 28, 31, 25, 19, 31, and 22. So one way to get a better sense of the data is just to order it from lowest to highest. So in this case, the lowest number is 19, and then 22, and then 25, and then 28, and then there's two 31s. Another way is to create something called a stem and leaf plot. So the stem in this case will be the tens digit, and we have tens digits of 1, 2, and 3, and then the leaf part is the ones digit. So 19 we represent with a 9 next to the 1 in the leaf, and then 22 would be a 2 in the leaf next to the 2 in the tens column in the leaf, in the stem. And then we've got a 25 also in this row with 2 in the stem, and then 8, and then in the 3s row we have 1 and 1. So that gives us a quick sense of the distribution of the data. Moving on to numerical summaries of the data, we can calculate the mean by simply adding up all the numbers and dividing by the number of elements that we have in our data set, and we've got 6 in this case. If we add these 6 numbers up, we get 156. If we divide that by 6, we get a mean of 26. And that's one measure of the center of the data distribution. Another measure of the center is the median. If the sample size is odd, the median is just the number right in the middle. If the sample size is even, which it is in this case because we've got 6 entries, then the median is the average of the middle 2 entries. So the middle 2 entries, we have to be careful that we're looking at the ordered data, is these two, and so the median is the average of 25 and 28, and that's 26.5. Moving on to thinking of the lower quartile next. So there's different ways of defining quartiles, but one simple way is to just think of the lower quartile as being the median of the lower half of the data. So the lower half of the data in this case is these 3 numbers, and the median of those 3 numbers is 22. And then the upper quartile would be the median of the upper half. So the upper half would be these 3 numbers, and the median of those 3 numbers is 31. Thinking of the smallest value in the data set, so that's called the minimum. So the minimum is this number here, so 19, and then the maximum is the largest number in the data set, so that's this number here. And then finally, let's finish off with some summaries of the spread of the data. So the total spread is given by the range, which equals the maximum minus the minimum. So 31 minus 19, and that comes to 12. And then there's another measure of variation in the data set. That's called the interquartile range, abbreviated IQR. And that's a way of measuring the middle half of the data, and it's simply the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. So 31 minus 22 in this case, which comes to 9.